Hello, welcome back to Leap English Podcast.
Hi, everyone. We're glad you're joining us.
I'm Lily.
And I'm Jake. On this podcast, we practice natural English conversations.
Today, we're going to learn how to talk about transportation in English.
If you enjoy this podcast, please subscribe and share with your friends.
Yes, it helps us a lot. Let's begin.
Lily, I heard you were late to work yesterday. What happened?
Don't remind me. It was terrible. My bus broke down.
The bus broke down? Really?
Yes, I was sitting on the bus and suddenly it just stopped in the middle of the road. The driver said there was an engine problem.
Oh, no. What'd you do?
We waited for 20 minutes, then another bus came and picked us up, but by that time I was already 30 minutes late.
That's frustrating. Did your boss say anything?
Luckily, he was understanding. I explained what happened, he said it's not my fault, but I felt bad anyway.
I can imagine. This is why I don't like taking the bus. Too unreliable sometimes.
What do you mean too unreliable? You take the subway, right?
Yes, I take the subway every day, and honestly, the subway has problems too. Last week, my train was delayed for 15 minutes.
Why was it delayed?
They didn't say exactly. The announcement just said, technical difficulties. That's what they always say.
I hate when they don't give a real reason. It makes you more frustrated.
Exactly. But overall, I think the subway is better than the bus. It's faster and more reliable most of the time.
Maybe you're right, but the bus is cheaper. My monthly bus pass costs $50. How much is your subway pass?
My monthly subway pass is $80. So yes, the bus is definitely cheaper.
See, that's why I take the bus. I'm trying to save money.
That makes sense. How long is your bus ride to work?
It usually takes about 35 minutes, but if there's traffic, it can take 50 minutes or even an hour.
An hour? That's a long time. My subway ride is only 25 minutes, and it's the same time every day because there's no traffic underground.
That's true. The subway doesn't have to deal with traffic. I'm jealous.
But the subway has other problems. It's always crowded, especially during rush hour.
Rush hour. That's morning and evening when everyone goes to work and comes home, right?
Exactly. From 7 to 9 in the morning and 5 to 7 in the evening. During rush hour, the subway is packed. Sometimes I can't even get on the first train. I have to wait for the next one.
The bus is crowded too during rush hour. Sometimes I have to stand for the entire ride because there are no seats.
Standing for 35 minutes sounds uncomfortable.
It is. My legs get tired. But what can I do? I don't have a car.
You don't have a car? Have you thought about buying one?
I have thought about it, but cars are so expensive. First, you have to buy the car, then you have to pay for gas, insurance, parking, and maintenance.
That's true. Cars are expensive to own. My brother has a car. He spends at least $300 every month just on gas and insurance.
$300? That's a lot. I'd rather spend that money on other things.
I agree. Plus, parking in the city is a nightmare. My brother can never find parking near his office. He has to park far away and walk 10 minutes.
If you have to park far away, what's the point of having a car?
Exactly my thought. That's why I don't want a car. Public transportation is more practical in the city.
But cars are convenient for long trips, right? Like going to another city or going on vacation.
That's true. When I need a car for a trip, I just rent one. It's cheaper than owning a car.
Rent a car. That's smart. How much does it cost to rent a car?
It depends on the type of car and how long you need it. Usually it's about $40 to $60 per day.
That's reasonable for occasional use. Do you have a driver's license?
Yes, I have a driver's license, but I don't drive very often, maybe once or twice a month when I rent a car. What about you? Do you have a license?
No, I don't. I never learned to drive.
Really? You never learned?
No, when I was younger, I lived in a city with great public transportation. I didn't need to drive, and now I'm too scared to learn.
Scared? Why?
Driving looks difficult. There are so many cars on the road. I'm afraid I'll have an accident.
I understand. Driving can be scary at first, but with practice, it gets easier. Maybe you should take driving lessons.
Maybe someday. But right now, I'm happy with the bus. Let me ask you, do you ever take a taxi?
Yes, sometimes. If I'm in a hurry or if I'm carrying heavy things, I take a taxi.
How much does a taxi cost?
It depends on the distance. A short ride, like 10 minutes, costs about $8 to $10. A longer ride can cost 20 or more.
That's expensive for daily use.
Yes, way too expensive. That's why I only take taxis occasionally. What about you? Do you use taxis?
Rarely. Maybe once every 2 or 3 months. Usually I use a ride-sharing app instead.
Oh, you mean like Uber or Lyft?
Yes, exactly. I find ride-sharing apps more convenient than regular taxis.
Why's that?
Because you can see the price before you book the ride. With regular taxis, you don't know the exact price until the end. Also, you can track the driver on the app. You know exactly when they'll arrive.
That's true. I use ride-sharing apps sometimes too, and you can pay through the app. No need for cash.
Yes, that's very convenient. I never carry cash anymore.
Same here. But ride-sharing can also be expensive during busy times. Have you heard of surge pricing?
Yes, I have. Surge pricing is when the price goes up because there are many people requesting rides at the same time.
Exactly. Last month, I needed a ride home late at night after a concert. The normal price would be $15. But with surge pricing, it was $35.
Wow, that's more than double. Did you pay it?
I had no choice. It was late and there were no buses. So I paid the $35. I wasn't happy about it.
I would be angry too. That's why I tried to plan ahead and avoid using ride sharing during peak times.
Smart thinking. Let's talk about other types of transportation. Do you ever ride a bicycle?
I used to ride a bicycle when I was in university. I rode my bike to classes every day.
That sounds nice. Why did you stop?
After I graduated and got a job, my office was too far from my home. It would take me an hour to bike there. So I switched to the bus.
An hour is too long. I don't ride a bike either. The roads in our city are not very bike-friendly.
What do you mean by bike-friendly?
I mean, there aren't many bike lanes, and cars don't always respect cyclists. It's dangerous.
That's true. I've seen some accidents between cars and bicycles. It's scary.
Yes, some cities have great infrastructure for cycling, but our city is not one of them.
Maybe in the future it will get better. More and more people want to use bicycles for environmental reasons.
I hope so. Bicycles are good for the environment and good for your health. Have you ever taken a train for a long-distance trip?
Yes, I have. Last year, I took a train to visit my parents. They live in another city about 300 kilometers away.
How long did the train ride take?
It took about 4 hours, but it was comfortable. I had a seat with a table, and there was Wi-Fi on the train. I could work on my laptop during the journey.
That sounds nice. Was it expensive?
The ticket cost $60 one way, so $120 for a round trip.
That's reasonable. Did you consider driving instead?
I don't have a car, remember? But even if I did, I think the train would be better. I can relax and read or work. If I drove, I'd be tired after 4 hours of driving.
Good point. I prefer trains for long distances too. What about flights? Do you travel by plane?
Not very often, maybe once or twice a year. Flying is expensive and it's stressful with all the security checks.
I agree. Airports are always crowded. You have to arrive 2 hours early, then you wait in line for check-in, then security, then boarding.
And flights can be delayed or canceled. Last time I flew, my flight was delayed by 3 hours. I was so bored waiting at the airport.
3 hours? That's frustrating. What did you do?
I just sat there. I read a book, I walked around the shops, I ate some food, but 3 hours feels like forever in an airport.
I know that feeling. But planes are necessary for very long distances. Like if you want to travel to another country.
Of course, if I want to go abroad, I have to fly. There's no other option. But for domestic travel, I prefer the train.
Same here. Okay, let's talk about something different. Have you ever used a motorcycle or scooter?
No, never. They look dangerous to me. Have you?
I rode a scooter once when I was on vacation in Thailand. It was fun, but also scary.
Why was it scary?
Because the traffic was crazy. Cars, motorcycles, tuk-tuks, everything going in different directions. I thought I was going to crash.
Tuk-tuk? What's that?
A tuk-tuk is like a small three-wheeled taxi. They're very common in Thailand and some other Asian countries. They're open on the sides, so you can feel the wind.
That sounds fun. Did you ride in one?
Yes, I did. It was a fun experience. Cheap, too. A ride cost only about $2 or $3.
Wow, that's much cheaper than taxis here. I would love to try that someday.
You should visit Thailand. The transportation there is very different from here. They also have boats as public transportation because there are many canals.
Boats? Really?
Yes, water taxis. You can take a boat instead of a bus. It's actually quite fast because there's no traffic on the water.
That sounds amazing. I've never been on public transportation by boat. Here, we only have buses, subways, and some trains.
Every city is different. Some cities have trams or trolleys. Some have cable cars.
Cable cars sound exciting. Aren't those the ones that hang from cables above the ground?
Yes, exactly. They're common in mountainous cities. I rode a cable car once in San Francisco. The view was incredible, but I was a little scared because it felt like we were floating in the air.
I don't think I could do that. I'm afraid of heights.
It's safe, don't worry. But I understand the fear. Speaking of different types of transportation, have you ever used an electric scooter? The kind you rent from the street.
Oh, those small scooters you see everywhere now? Yes, I've tried them once.
What did you think?
It was fun for about 5 minutes. Then I got nervous because I wasn't used to it. I was going too fast and I didn't feel in control.
I had the same experience. I tried one last summer. I almost fell off when I went over a bump in the road.
See, they're not as easy as they look, but I see many people using them. They must be popular.
They are popular, especially with young people. They're convenient for short distances, and you can just leave them anywhere when you're done.
But that's also a problem. I've seen them blocking sidewalks. People just throw them anywhere.
That's true. It's a problem in many cities. The companies need to manage them better.
I agree. You know, Jake, we've talked about so many different types of transportation. We should review some important vocabulary.
Good idea. Let's help everyone learn these transportation words.
Okay, let's start with a basic word, transportation. Jake, what does transportation mean?
Transportation means the ways we move from one place to another. It includes all vehicles and systems we use to travel. For example, buses, trains, cars, and bicycles are all types of transportation.
Perfect. So when someone asks, what's your transportation to work? They're asking how you get to work.
Exactly. Now let's talk about commute. This is an important word. Your commute is your regular journey to and from work every day.
Yes, you can use it as a noun or a verb. My commute takes 30 minutes. That's the noun. Or I commute by bus. That's the verb.
Right. So you can say, my daily commute is very long. Or I commute to work by subway.
Good examples. Now, another important word is rush hour. We mentioned this earlier.
Rush hour is the time of day when roads and public transportation are most crowded because everyone is going to work or coming home from work, usually in the morning around 7 to 9 and in the evening around 5 to 7.
Yes, during rush hour, traffic is terrible. Everything moves slowly. You can say, I avoid driving during rush hour because the traffic is too bad.
Now, let's talk about public transportation. What does that mean, Lily?
Public transportation means transportation that is available for everyone to use. You pay a fare and you can ride. Examples are buses, subways, trains, and trams. The government or companies run these services.
And the opposite is private transportation, which means your own vehicle, like your personal car or bicycle.
Exactly. Now, an important word we used is fare. The fare is the money you pay to use public transportation. How much is the bus fare? The subway fare increased last month.
Yes, so fare is like the ticket price for public transportation. Another word we should explain is crowded.
Crowded means too many people in a space. When the bus or subway is crowded, there are so many people that you can barely move. The train is always crowded during rush hour.
I hate crowded trains. Everyone is pressed together, very uncomfortable. Now, what about traffic?
Traffic means all the vehicles on the road. When we say there's a lot of traffic or traffic is heavy, we mean many cars are on the road and movement is slow. Bad traffic can make your commute much longer.
Yes, and we also talked about traffic jam. That's when traffic is so bad that cars are barely moving or are completely stopped.
Right. I was stuck in a traffic jam for an hour. That means you couldn't move for an hour. Very frustrating.
Another useful phrase is break down. When a vehicle breaks down, it stops working. My car broke down on the highway. The bus broke down, so we had to wait.
Yes, that's what happened to me yesterday. The bus broke down. Now let's talk about reliable and unreliable.
Reliable means you can trust it or depend on it. A reliable bus service means the buses come on time and don't have many problems. Unreliable is the opposite. You cannot depend on it.
Exactly. I think the subway is reliable. It usually runs on time. But when we say something is unreliable, we mean it often has problems or delays.
Good explanation. Now, what about convenient?
Convenient means easy and suitable for you. It doesn't cause problems. Living near a subway station is convenient. Using a ride-sharing app is convenient because you don't need cash.
Perfect. And one more important word, delay. A delay is when something happens later than planned.
Yes.
The train was delayed by 20 minutes. My flight had a 2-hour delay. Delays are frustrating because you're waiting and you can't do anything about it.
So, let's review quickly. Transportation, commute, rush hour, public transportation, private transportation, fare, crowded, traffic, traffic jam, breakdown, reliable, unreliable, convenient, and delay.
Those are all very useful words when talking about transportation in English.
If you learn these words, you can describe your transportation experiences very easily and naturally.
Well, Jake, that was a really interesting conversation about transportation.
It was. We covered so much. I learned that you take the bus every day, and your bus broke down yesterday.
And I learned that you take the subway and it gets very crowded during rush hour. We both agree that public transportation has problems, but it's still better than owning a car in the city.
Right. Cars are too expensive, and parking's difficult. So, let's review what we talked about today.
We discussed many different types of transportation. We talked about buses, subways, cars, taxis, and ride-sharing apps.
We also talked about trains for long-distance travel and planes for very long distances or international travel.
We discussed bicycles and motorcycles. We even talked about unusual transportation, like tuk-tuks, water taxis, and cable cars.
We learned about the problems with transportation: delays, breakdowns, crowds, traffic jams, and high costs.
We also talked about the advantages. Public transportation is cheaper and more environmentally friendly. Private cars give you more freedom and flexibility.
We learned that different cities have different transportation systems. What works in one city might not work in another city.
And we learned that everyone has different preferences. Some people like buses, some prefer subways, some love driving their own car.
The important thing is finding the transportation method that works best for your situation, your budget, and your lifestyle.
Exactly. And now it's time for our favorite part.
Yes, the question of the day.
Are you ready?
Okay, today's question is, what is your main transportation method, and what do you like or dislike about it?
This is a great question because everyone uses transportation every day. We want to know how you get around in your city.
Do you take the bus? Do you ride the subway? Do you drive a car? Do you ride a bicycle?
And what do you think about it? What are the good things and the bad things?
For example, I could say, I take the subway every day. I like it because it's fast and reliable, but I dislike that it's very crowded during rush hour.
Or I could say, I take the bus to work. I like it because it's cheap, but I dislike that it's slow when there's traffic.
See, it's easy. Now it's your turn.
Please write your answer in the comments below. Tell us about your transportation experience.
You can write, I drive my car to work. I like the freedom and comfort, but I dislike the high cost of gas and parking.
Or, I ride my bicycle everywhere. I like that it's free and good exercise, but I dislike riding in the rain.
Or maybe, I walk to work because I live close by. I like that it's healthy and I save money, but I dislike it when the weather is bad.
Any answer is interesting. We want to learn about transportation in your city and your personal experience.
We read every comment and we love hearing about your lives in different places.
It's also great practice for your English writing skills, so please share your transportation story with us.
So, to summarize, today we learned how to talk about transportation in English. We learned many useful words, phrases, and expressions.
We covered all types of transportation, from buses to planes to unusual vehicles like tuk-tuks.
We hope you feel confident now to describe your transportation experiences in English. This is very useful because transportation is something we all use every day.
And when you travel to English-speaking countries, you'll need to talk about transportation often. Now you have the vocabulary to do that.
Thank you so much for joining us today. It was wonderful talking with you about this practical topic.
If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe and share it with your friends who are learning English.
And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a new episode. We have new conversations every day.
Next time, we'll talk about another useful topic for everyday English.
From both of us, keep learning, keep practicing, and have a safe journey wherever you go.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.